What would you do if the person you loved slowly disappeared from your life? Not because they stopped loving you, but because life put them away, and then, when your heart was at its weakest, someone else came along and gave you everything you have been missing. Stay until the end because the final decision changed all three of their lives forever. Amara and Daniel had been married for 5 years. They weren't rich, but they were happy. Daniel worked tirelessly to provide for their little family, while Amara ran their home with love and hope. The only thing missing was a child. Month after month, they prayed. Year after year, they waited, but nothing happened. When Daniel was offered a high paying engineering contract in another city, he accepted it. It will only be for 2 years, he told Amara. When I return, we will have enough money to start the life we have always dreamed of. With tears in her eyes, she hugged him goodbye. At first, Daniel called every evening. They laughed together. They prayed together. They counted down the days until they would meet again. But slowly everything changed. The calls became shorter. Then they became weekly. Sometimes entire weeks passed without a single message. Amara told herself he was simply busy, but loneliness doesn't ask for permission before settling into someone's heart. One rainy afternoon, Amara met Ethan, a cheerful teacher who had just moved into her neighborhood. He helped her carry groceries through the rain. Their first conversation lasted only a few minutes. The second lasted nearly an hour. Soon, evening walks became a routine. Ethan listened without judgment. She remembered the little details Daniel had unknowingly forgotten. For the first time in months, Amara laughed without forcing herself, but deep inside, guilt began to grow. She knew she was walking a dangerous path. One evening, Ethan stopped walking. He looked into her eyes. I've tried to fight it, he whispered, but I am in love with you. Amara's heart pounded. She couldn't answer. She simply walked away with tears filling her eyes. That night, she couldn't sleep. Did she still love Daniel? Yes. Did she have feelings for Ethan? Also, yes. Her heart had become a battlefield. Just when everything seemed impossible, Daniel returned home, months earlier than expected. He walked through the front door carrying flowers and gifts, but instead of excitement, he noticed everything different. The smile in Amara's eyes was gone. That evening, after dinner, he finally asked the question that had been haunting him. Is there someone else? Silence filled the room. Amara began to cry. She admitted he had developed feelings for Ethan. Nothing physical had happened, but emotionally, her heart has drifted. Daniel felt as though the ground had disappeared beneath his feet. Yet he didn't shout. He didn't insult her. Instead, he quietly asked, tell me the truth. Do you still want this marriage? For days, Amara couldn't decide. She loved the memories she shared with Daniel. She cherished the comfort she felt with Ethan. One represented her past, the other represented a future she had never expected. Finally, she made her choice. She met Ethan one last time. With tears running down her face, she said, you came into my life when I needed someone most. You will always have a special place in my heart, but I made promises I still believe in. Ethan smiled sadly. If that's where your heart truly belongs, then don't look back. They hugged for the final time, then walked in opposite directions. Returning to Daniel wasn't the end of the story, it was only the beginning. Trust had to be rebuilt, forgiveness had to be earned. There were painful conversations, counseling sections, countless tears, but little by little their marriage healed. 1 year later, they stood before family and friends to renew their wedding vows, not because their love had been perfect, but because they had chosen forgiveness instead of bitterness. Years later, Ethan also found love with someone whose heart was completely free. No secrets, no divided emotion, just a fresh beginning. Life sometimes places us between two paths. Feelings can be confusing. Loneliness can make us vulnerable. but the choices we make in those moments often shaped the rest of our lives. If you were in Amara's position, who would you have chosen, Daniel or Ethan? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and follow for more unforgettable stories. Thank you.